On the road in Music City, live from the City Winery in downtown Nashville, Music City Roots is on the air. Tonight, a double shot of bluegrass, old school, new school with two award-winning bands, plus an ever-evolving songwriter who's doing the best work of her career with the band she's always dreamed of, and Nashville newcomer putting her own twist on classic soul. But, if I may, what is soul? Well, what does it sound like? What does it look like? We weren't sure until this guy walked into our lives. He's got more soul than LeBron James' shoes. I'm telling you. He's Grammy award-winning artist and songwriter and a guy that I have missed way too much, Mr. Jim Lauderdale!
Thank you. Hey, everybody. We're so glad y'all are here tonight. Thanks for coming. And I'm going to kick off with a song that I recorded with one of my heroes in bluegrass music back in 1979. And the recordings got lost, and we found them a few months ago, so it'll come out in the summertime. And it would have been my first record ever. So here's a song I wrote for Roland and I to sing. I want to do it. Forgive and forget. Pretend we just met. Honey, let's make up. Forgive and forget. I was out all night, and last night too, out with the crowd, but I was thinking about you. Forgive and forget. Pretend we just met. Honey, let's make up. Forgive and forget. Sometimes we're gonna fuss and holler and yell. Sometimes we like to have a good fighting spell. Forgive and forget. Pretend we just met. Honey, let's make up. Forgive and forget. If we have a little feud, if we have a little spat, if you're clawing and scratching like a mean old cat, forgive and forget. Pretend we just met. Honey, let's make up. Forgive and forget. Honey, let's make up. Forgive and forget. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody, and welcome to Roots on the Road. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, we had such a good time here at the City Winery back in January. We had to come back. Now, we sure appreciate their hospitality and the food and the wine. And, of course, you can't have wine without grapes. You can't have grapes without roots. So it all kind of works, doesn't it? So well, let's get this started by meeting my co-hosts for the evening. Over here at the podium, keeping it classy and classic.
Oh, yeah.
Is the pride of Cookeville, Tennessee Radio Hall of Famer, Keith Bilberry.
Thank you. And it's good to be back on stage with you, but you leave me wondering, how do you lose recordings you made with your bluegrass hero?
Well, it's a long story.
Where did you find them?
Roland found it. His wife found it at the bottom of a box, luckily.
Oh, I just wondered.
Yeah.
You lose them way back then so that you have that story to tell
Exactly.
now.
I mean,
and it all becomes a whole thing.
I'm getting the
and the
picture.
press.
I guess subconsciously I must have not labeled it and stuck it in a box and hid it at Roland's house.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trick to get the press interested.
Yes,
I
exactly. But anyway, we digress. And over here is our Roots on the Road chat man in the chat room where there are no secrets, where there are no softball questions. At least he's not asked any guests about softball so far. Our inquisitive individual, Craig Havighurst.
Hi, Jim. Hello, good people. Are you a slow pitch or a fast pitch guy, Jim? No, I'm not gonna have a softball session. It's so good to be back here at the City Winery. We spend a lot of time here because WMOT presents quite a few shows. This is a place that puts artists on this stage that we love and that we play on the WMOT airwaves, and so it feels right at home, besides all those grapes and wine and things like that. I get to say thanks to some other partners who help us out here, especially tonight, and new friends at Tzatziki Mediterranean Cafe. They fed our crew dinner tonight. They are a family of big-hearted foodies committed to making an impact in our community, and they're celebrating 20 years of healthy food. You can call ahead, you can dine in, or they cater, and locations are all over Middle Tennessee, and you can learn more about them at tzatzikicafe.com. I may have to leave it to them to spell that, but it's tzatzikicafe.com. And Yeehaw Brewing and Old Smoky Moonshine and Real Water have been partners of the show for quite a long time. They keep our crew and our guest musicians hydrated back there, and we certainly thank them as well. Now, Jim opened with a bluegrass song. It is a bluegrassy kind of night. Anybody love bluegrass music in the house? Yeah. You always get a higher pitched reaction to that specific genre. You don't say, do people love folk music? You don't get, wee! You get, oh yeah, bluegrass, high and lonesome. We're going to hear from the Travelin McCourys, ladies and gentlemen. Ronnie, Rob, Alan, oh my Lord, Cody, the one of the finest bands in the world and one of the great legacies in bluegrass, of course. We have one of the great traditional bands in the country from Xenia, Ohio. Joe Mullins and the Radio Ramblers are here. We love them. And a newcomer, relatively new to Nashville. She brought her band down when she moved from Boston to Berklee College of Music. A bunch of her classmates came, formed the band, and she's making some classic soul-sounding music, but her own twist. Emma Hearn will be up in the second set. So you are all obviously a warm audience, and put your hands together for who's next, but Jim's going to introduce our first act right now.
Well, folks, it's been way too long since we heard from this wonderful artist. Years ago, she took a leap, quitting her career in teaching in New York and moving to Nashville to find her place amid a changing world of traditional and roots music. Her latest evolution is earthy and rockin' and soulful and truthful. Her album, Champion, has earned national acclaim. Please welcome Nora Jane Struthers.
Laying in bed, listen to the sound of you in the kitchen, turning beans into grounds, cream walls. change those eyes. Holding your hands feel like I'm 22 with the whole world waiting just for me and you. Green grass and a clear blue sky. Winter's warm and summer's snow. Wrapped up in this lover's glow. Time is still, I pass right through. How's it going, Music City Roots? Great to be here. Great to be here and be a part of it. My name's Nora Jane Struthers. These are my best friends with me. We're playing a bunch of music that we put out on a record this past fall. The record's called Champion, and this is the title track. There's a light on in your hallway, kettles screaming on the stove, dogs barking at the back door, bathroom tiles are black with mold, but the baby's only sleeping, and you're dreaming you're 16. Back when life was books and horses, and daddy's fiddle on TV. I will be your champion. Fly your banner in the sun. City streets at dawn are glistening, filth and water, rainbow shine. You're tucked up in your apartment, separated from the grind. No one comes over for dinner. Your little family's all you need. Still, it's hard, times are bigger, feeling so lonely and secure. I will be your champion. Fly your banner in the sun. Taste your victories with my charm. I will be your champion. Miles and miles of empty highway, hours and hours passing through. You ask me what's your favorite city, and I tell you, rolling green and marble blue. I don't need you just for this dream. My heart is full of crazy hopes, heavy hopes on your shoulder. Will you help me scale the slow? Will you be my champion? Fly my banner in the sun. Taste my victories with your tongue. Will you be my champion? with your heart, with your mind. It's inside you, feel it. It's been there since the day you were born. It's up to you to feel it. Heal yourself where you're torn. Oh, there's a line between hope and belief. You've got to choose a side with your heart, with your mind. Just 8 years old in the photo, dark circles under your eyes. Your drive isn't laser focused. Your brain is a maze of detour signs. Oh, there's a line between hope and belief. You've got to choose a side with your heart, with your mind. Back then, the cure was working hard, so you learned to keep the fire in your belly burning high. How can you unlearn who you are? Turn the flames to a creep, believe dormant seeds and learn to fly. Oh, there's a line between hope and belief, and you've got to choose a side with your heart, with your mind. Oh, there's a line between hope and belief. You've got to choose a side with your heart, with your mind. Oh, there's a line between hope and belief. You've got to choose a side with your heart, with your mind. Thank you so much. Over here playing the pedal steel, the fiddle, the banjo, and doing some beautiful, beautiful singing. Originally from Smithville, Tennessee, and Nashville, Tennessee. Y'all make them welcome. This is Joe Overton. That's his great-great-granddad's fiddle. Granddad found it in a flour sack in the attic and asked if anyone in the family wanted to learn it, how to play it. I just thought you ought to know that. This is a song, well, it was just Mother's Day. And this next song is really for all the parents out there. and for anyone who's ever wanted to be a parent. It's called Wonderful Home. If I were born into this world again, just a babe in mother's arms, I would count myself so lucky to be held by you. If I were a bird in the trees, I've been between the air and the leaves, so blessed if I could fly and rest in West Virginia's Tiger Valley. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What a wonderful home. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What a wonderful home. Guitar hanging on the wall, praying to be played. Oh, what sweet release, your fingers finally reach for me. If I were an acre of earth, before someone decides what I'm worth, I'd give myself to you. We toiled a whole year through to see what beauty we could bring to birth. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What a wonderful home. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What a wonderful home. If I were a letter stamped and put to post, passed from hand to bag and box and truck, wouldn't it be grand to wind up in your hand, finally understood? And if I were some leftover thing, all and no one in the world thinks that they need, I'd make my way to you. You would know the truth. You'd see a flower where others see a weed. Oh, what a wonderful home. Oh, what a wonderful home. What a wonderful home. Thank you so much. We're in for a real night of quality music here at Music City Roots. I'm sure glad to be a part of it. I'm looking forward to hearing all the other great bands that are playing. Before we play anymore, I want to introduce you to these fine musicians and human beings on stage with me. Over here on the electric guitar from Kieseltown, Virginia, this is Josh Vanna, y'all. Josh wears exclusively wool socks. Back there on the drums, originally from Salem, Virginia, making his home up in the Baltimore area with his beautiful family. He's the heartbeat of our band in so many ways. Y'all make him feel welcome. That's Drew Lawhorn. Over here, holding it down on the bass, he was raised all over this fine nation of ours as the son of military parents, Air Force. And he's been living in Nashville, Tennessee for 8 years, which is the longest he's ever lived anywhere. and he loves it here. He's an incredible musician and a great friend. Brian Duncan Miller on the bass. And one more time, Joe Overton on everything else. We're going to leave you with this one. It's a song about learning to chill out, although it doesn't necessarily sound like that.
Backyard.
Drew Lawhorn, Brian Miller, Joe Overton. I'm Nora Jane Struthers. Thanks so much, y'all.
Nora Jane Struthers, everybody. And this amazing band, Nora Jane Struthers. Always knock my socks off every time I hear you play. Thanks for being here. Nora Jane Struthers.
Yeah.
That's great, guys. Awesome.
Great job.
Folks, you obviously like wine. Do you like cheese? Okay, well, a very close friend of mine is working on a product that's going to be available here at City Winery in only fine stores, but this will be the only restaurant in town to carry it. Mm-hmm. And that's created by our friend over here, and it's Keith Bilbrey's Bill Brie. Oh, it's good. Oh, he gave me a block of it the other day. I'm still eating it.
I knew you were going somewhere, but God only knew where.
And I'll tell you, he just got back from England a little while ago where he's continuing kind of a trunk sale, literally, out of the trunk of his car, and that's Keith Bilbrey's Bilbrey Village.
Burberry, get it right.
Keith Bilbrey's Burberry Village. It's a tongue twister, but it wears well. Keith?
No fooling. I was in London, England. I was about to get on the subway. He's always teasing me about the Burberry store. And just as I was going down the steps to catch the underground, lo and behold, there is a shop in London named Burberry. I took a picture of it and sent it to him. He doesn't make some of this stuff up. It's just misplaced. Thanks to Mike, Liza, and the great folks here at the City Winery for being such gracious hosts to MCR. Give them a big hand. Yeah. We are in the midst of touring some of Nashville's finest music rooms on our way to our new venue downtown, not far from here, later this year. We're proud to be welcome to do what we do here tonight. They've kindly fed all our performing artists here tonight some delicious food. Ask about a special bottle of Music City Roots Red, with all proceeds going to a very worthy cause. You know, you don't buy a diamond every day, but when that special time comes, just remember you've got good friends in the diamond business who just happen to have a product on the cutting edge of the diamond industry. Go to the web at star129.com to learn why and how the Star 129 was created to literally outshine ordinary diamonds. Take a look at those before and after photos of diamonds that were recut into Star 129s. They are absolutely stunning. Now, here in Nashville, the Star 129 Diamond's available exclusively at Forster's Diamond Outlet. If you're in the Hickory Hollow neighborhood, stop by and see a live comparison. You won't believe your eyes. Now, if you're not in Nashville, you can find a list of Star 129 dealers all around the country. Just go to star129.com and you'll find what you need. Now, let's go over to the chat room, and there's Craig Havoc-Hurst. How about it, Craig?
There we go. This is part of our show, folks. We love to get to know the artists, and we've heard her. Now we get to talk to her. One more time for Nora Jane Struthers. If someone had seen you on Roots or in another venue, say 6 years ago, and I like that Nora Jane Struthers. She's on the bill tonight. Let's go see her again. And then they came in and they hadn't tuned in the meantime, followed the story. They might be a little surprised by the sound.
I think they would be very surprised. that has happened.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, my first record was a bluegrass record, really. I mean...
Very much so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. A wide spectrum bluegrass record,
yes.
but an acoustic record for sure.
Definitely.
And you had your heart in tradition. You grew up around folk music, and your home and your dad, I think, helped you get on board in that world?
I grew up singing bluegrass music with my dad in New Jersey. It was like Little House on the Turnpike, y'all.
The swing happened 2 albums ago. Champion is this one, and there was Wake, right? No, sorry. Yeah, Wake, right before that in 2015. And that's when the electric guitars, the mayhem began. What shifted? What let you sort of take the courage that your audience would come with you, that you could find new friends and new fans, and that you were doing something that you wanted to hear?
That's a complicated question, but I can answer it. I
no
think,
softballs, folks.
With sort of a two-part answer. One part is, when I started out writing songs, I was really rooted in the bluegrass tradition of narrative. Linear narrative story songs. That's sort of what folk music is, right? You're telling a story. And so that my first couple records are very much
story-based, narrative-based. And when I fell in love with my husband, Joe, who was playing the steel and the banjo and the fiddle, I found the experience to be so profound that I felt like I actually had something worth sharing out of my own life. And so the album Wake is more autobiographical. And something about that shift made sense to have an instrumentation change. But then also, I never found a fiddle player that was the right fit for my band. And Josh Vanna, who is playing the electric guitar, is the right fit. It's all about having the right people around you. He's a wonderful human being. He's an amazing musician, and I just love being around him.
Right on. And you said this band has been with you for a good time, 4 years now, the same folks. And that must have huge implications for chemistry, feel, night after night, honing it and getting it right.
Oh, it's everything.
Yeah.
It's the most fun thing ever. Playing music with these guys is the most fun.
Champion came out in the middle of last year. You got a wonderful, wonderful review. I was just surprised by it. I was driving along listening to Fresh Air, and was it Ed Ward? No, who was Ken Tucker? Ken Tucker suddenly started saying really nice things about you, and I drove off the road, and I was like, yeah, that's great. How did you find out that was going to happen?
Oh, I think my publicist told me, but the first time I listened to it, I laughed out loud 3 times and I fist pumped twice. So that was a highlight of last year for sure.
Ken really liked it, and it was a record that has a lot of different sides of you. It's not just a rock and roll record. There is a beautiful, super solo acoustic song right in the middle with Just a House. Then that goes into a song I want to ask you about, Robot. I didn't think you were going to play Robot tonight, but I went back and listened to that a few times, getting ready for tonight. I think this is just an amazing tune. One I want you to send me the lyrics to, because I'm not sure I get every line, but it is definitely, it's like if Neil Young and Crazy Horse were to try to tell you about the trials of the modern world. So where did that song Robot come from?
Partially just from feeling terrified of all the technological advancements creeping into our lives and talking about how I need a cheese grater to my husband and then going on my phone and Facebook advertising cheese graters to me, Yeah. That really scares me. But then also just, the robots think they know us. And it's about that, but it's also about anyone out there who thinks they know what you're capable of.
Oh, right on, yeah. And then, of course, the robots get it wrong. And when they get it wrong, they get spectacularly wrong, and all kind of mayhem ensues. Any plans you can share that are exciting for you or that you can put your finger on for this coming year?
We just got out of the studio recording a couple songs. We went in for 2 days, and I was thinking, you know what? We're just going to record a couple songs. And at the end of it, I was like, I think that was the beginning of a record.
Okay.
So that's very exciting.
Feel the stirrings. You never
Very
know when it's going to
excited.
feel it, but when it comes, it comes. Can't be denied. Great. Well, hey, I hope Jim's over there ready. I'm about to throw it back to him. Jim Lauderdale, are you over there? Actually, I haven't gotten the thumbs up from our main man, Ryan. He's plugging things in. We're going to keep talking.
I could ask you some questions.
I'm up for it. Jim's like, stretch.
Craig and I are going to go see a baseball game. We're going to go see the Nashville Sounds.
Yeah. Who's been at the Sounds game this year? Let's get over there before it gets too hot. How are they doing, by the way? So-so? All right. That's a date. Probably next 2 weeks we'll do that, and we'll do a little interview while we go, put that on the radio. I always wanted to interview somebody during a 9-inning baseball game. Yeah. There will be 9 questions for 9 innings, and we'll keep the score as we go. And maybe we'll have the sound effects, and it'll be beautiful. So, looking forward to it.
Well, I'm not drinking so much right now, but can I buy you the whiskey slushies so that the questions get progressively more slurred?
Some hot chicken
as
and
the
whiskey
evening goes on?
slushies would suit me fine.
Great,
we'll see you there. All right, Ryan's giving the thumbs up. Thank you. Nora Jane Struthers one more time, folks. Champion is the record.
All right.
I'm not allowed to tell you to get one, but the merch table is out the door. Great. Thanks, Nora Jane. Jim Lauderdale, have at it.
Well, folks, our next artist is relatively new to Nashville, but she's certainly making her mark. She started singing seriously in high school and then attended the Berklee College of Music. And she moved here with her Boston-based band to start a new musical life. And part of that is her debut EP, and part of that is her set right now. We're proud to be part of it. Please welcome Emma Hearn.
still cry 1,000 tears. All my love is just a prayer, but I'll be sure to give the devil his due when I'm walking 6 feet over you, 'cause you stole my heart and I want it back. I want it back. Lord, I want it back. I want it back. I want it back. So I'm taking it back.
Thank you guys so much.
Why do I do the things I do? Act so dumb while you see right through. Lord, there's nothing I can do, nothing I say to make you run away. Then I see your smiling face, takes me to another time and place. Lord, there's nothing I can do, nothing I say to make you run away. Baby, your touch turns me to fire. When you're around, it takes me higher.
is killing me. Love is killing me. Thank you, guys. My name's Hearn, and we're so excited to be here today. Thank you to Music City Roots for having us. I've only ever come to shows at City Winery, so we're happy to be on stage tonight. I was just found. And you in my life. Never needed anyone. Just looking for something. And no one would adore you alone. And you held me tight. Almost every damn night, you whispered in my ear. Only the midnight train could hear me coming on. I need you. Tell me what the hell am I supposed to do? You took my love and for all, and you ain't ever coming home. And I'm the fool who should have known. I'm lying next to him. I'm alone and he's big. 'Cause loving ain't the same. You left me this way. I thought my heart could have break. I need you. Tell me what the hell am I supposed to do? You took my love and for all, and you ain't never coming home. And I'm the fool that should have known. Tell me what the hell am I supposed to do? You took my love and for all, you ain't never coming home. And I'm the fool that should have known. Tell me what the hell am I supposed to do? Oh Lord, you took my love and for all, you ain't never coming home. I'm the fool that should have known. You took my love and for all, you ain't never coming home. And I'm a fool who should have known. Give it up for Brian Connors on keys on that song. So today is special because my parents hardly ever get to see me anymore, and they happen to be in town tonight in the audience. My mom and dad are here, and I'm really excited to have them here. And my mom is the one who taught me all of the cool music before I knew that it was cool music, and I used to be very embarrassed
she'd pull up and pick me up in middle school and be blasting all this wonderful blues and whatnot. And now I am so thankful for that. So this is dedicated to my mom. It's one of the songs that she used to play all the time. Hearn. We're going to do one more song for you. Please feel free to come and say hi to me at the merch table. For the first time, I have CDs, so you should come and get one.
Staring across the bar. That's where you picked up all the broken bits of my heart. You said, "Excuse me, baby, I believe that these belong to you." With just a bit of my love, I cannot make them brand new. you give me a chance? There's some real romance. Come with me and you'll never second guess, girl. All you gotta do is say yes. No, I can't quit thinking about what you said. My heart is racing on replay on everything in my head. So tell me once more, well, I shall ever let you in. It's tired heart ain't trying to start it over again. So won't you give me a chance? Some real romance. Come with me and you'll never second guess. Girl, all you gotta do is say yes. Won't you give me a chance? 'Cause I'm real romance. Come with me, you won't ever second guess. Girl, all you gotta do is say yes. Won't you give me a chance? 'Cause I'm real romance. Come with me and you won't ever second guess. Girl, all you gotta do is say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. All you gotta do is say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes.
Thank you guys so very much. My name's Hearn. Thank you, Music City Roots, for having us. And give it up for this wonderful band that I have behind me.
Emma Hearn, everybody. You heard her here first at Music City Roots. That was great. Emma Hearn, let's hear it again. Thank you, that's great. Well, folks, I want to give an acknowledgement for the people who probably traveled farthest tonight. They came from Sydney, Australia, and that's Brian and Brenda. Where are you at?
Yeah, here they are.
Let's give them a hand. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
I wish I could hear. Hello. Hello. I wish I could hear him talk, don't you?
Yes.
I love that Australian
Well, after the
accent.
show.
Yeah. Hey, you're listening to Roots Radio, 89.5 WMOT, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Americana, deep and wide. Please remember to support public radio. Find your way to WMOT.org and press the donate button. We need your help. It can get you invited to private members events like Wired In with Jesse Scott, May 27th at West Haven with Ray Wiley Hubbard and Rob Ikes and Trey Hensley. Oh, great acts. Learn more at WMOT.org, and I'm excited to be starting a new show on WMOT. It's going to debut in a few weeks. Stay tuned for Keith's Country. I think you're going to like it on Roots Radio. Speaking of WMOT, we'd like to give a shout out to Acceptance Auto Insurance, who not only support our nationwide PBS TV series, they also underwrite the Acceptance Morning Ride on WMOT weekday mornings from 6 to 9 a.m. with offices around Middle Tennessee and 400 across the country. Wherever your song takes you, Acceptance has you covered. Learn more at acceptance.com. Your terms accepted. Now, over to the chat room. Who you got wrangled over there? I recognize those guys. How about it, Craig?
This is pretty exciting, folks. We're gonna end the night with a band that, as I said the other day when we did a long interview, and that I've been telling people, they are the pivot point of bluegrass music. Their legacy goes all the way back to the origins of bluegrass music. This generation is looking all the way into the future. They're going to be making great bluegrass music of all kinds, the full spectrum for many decades to come. Say Del Yeah for the Travelin' McCourys, Ronnie McCoury and Alan Bartram.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody.
These gentlemen have an exciting news, a debut album as the Travelin' McCourys, self-titled, coming out on May 25th, the same day. A Del McCoury Band album. Del McCoury still sings bluegrass on that day, and that day is nested right in the middle of the family festival, Del Fest.
Yes.
So a lot of things coming together at the Memorial Day weekend here.
Yes. Coming together or falling apart, we'll find out, won't we?
I think you've been doing it 10 years. This will be the 11th, so the Del Fest is pretty much a well-oiled machine.
Yes.
Tell folks about it, and you can invite them, you can brag on it, but I want to ask you some stories about this incredible festival.
Sure. Well, this will be the 11th year in Cumberland, Maryland, which is borders right on the West Virginia line over there. Actually, the Potomac River runs right basically through the festival. And we've had great success. We'd love to have some folks come up. There's some folks from Nashville that do make it up there. So you are invited to be there.
I'd love each of you to take your own take on this story, but how did you set the tone for Del Fest and give it its musical identity? Because it's been associated with all types of bluegrass, wider acoustic music, and some jam grass and some jam band music, some improvisational stuff, plus surprises. But talk about when it was initially conceived and the kinds of choices you made and the invitations you put out that gave it its stamp.
Well, it's all because of my father and our association with so many different bands, even outside of bluegrass music, and we got collaborations with different people. And in the beginning, first of all, my dad always wanted to have a festival, but didn't have any real desire to try to run a festival. So we have a great partner in a company from California called High Sierra Festival Company, and they come in and they run everything, but they also have had a festival for over 20 years, so they know how to book bands. We've played for them, and they have all kinds of music at their festival, and ours wasn't just a bluegrass festival. It's a music festival because, like I said, we've had so many friends. In the beginning, it was just pretty much everybody we knew and had played with some way, somehow, and it's still like that. We try to keep it family-oriented, and that's all worked out for us. And a lot of that has to do with who you book.
Yeah.
Alan,
when did you... is there an early memory at Del Fest when you felt like you understood the vibe and the dialogue with the audience and the tone of music that was going to be part of it? What stands out?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the first year definitely set the tone with all the guests that were there, but probably the second year it really, it was early on when it felt like, yeah, this is a cool mix, and it's definitely carried through. Even last year, during the Del McCoury Band set, we had as guests Dan Auerbach, part of the Preservation Hall Jazz Band, and John Fishman, all on stage at the same time. Yeah. So that's pretty much the only place that happens. So it's pretty unique.
Was year 2 or 3 the year of the 90-mile-an-hour winds and the tents and the small farm animals blowing across? I saw some video that was pretty exciting.
Yeah, we don't really talk about that anymore, Craig.
Traumatic
We've left
memories.
that's in the past, man.
You can't control this stuff.
Yeah.
And that's never going to happen again.
No, probably not.
No.
Nope.
What about the Travelin' McCourys album here that's coming up? It's really wonderful, folks. It's just what I had hoped it would be. Some songs we've been hearing you do for a while, and then some surprises, some new stuff. And Alan, indeed, you wrote a bunch of them.
Yeah, I co-wrote 3 of the songs, and like you said, most of the songs have been road tested pretty well. So I feel like we got a really good representation on the recording, and it's kind of a long recording. It's over 60 minutes of music, but we'd never put a CD out before, so it needed to have a lot on it.
What came together that said it is finally time, and you carved out? I'm curious whether you maybe recorded it at or around the same time as the Del Bluegrass record.
We started recording singles over the past year,
one at a time,
and then we kind of got serious and said we need to get this done.
What you had a lot to say about this record the other night, because it is in a sense, you and your brother putting your and your guys and Cody putting your name on a project for the first time and stamping it. I mean, there's only one chance to make a first album.
Yeah, that's right. You know, well, we have been a band for 9 years, and we had never put a project out, just some singles. It wasn't until we really hired Cody Kilby to solidify the sound, really, because we had
rotating guitarists,
many rotating guitarists, and anyhow, that kind of solidified the sound and got us to the point where we knew we had to do something. And we did, and we're happy with it.
It's terrific. Last question: how's Dad? How's Del? What's news from him?
News from Dad. Dad is fantastic, and he's getting ready for Del Fest. We did Sirius Satellite today. We did a show with him, so he's ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
He always is. We love him. Folks, the Travelin' McCourys are going to end the night. Thanks, guys, for the Q&A, and we will be seeing you later.
Great. You guys are great. That was interesting. That was very interesting.
That's what you say when you can't say something real nice.
Well, folks, let's take a turn in a bluegrass direction, shall we? How about that? Well, here's one of our favorite ensembles for many reasons. They know the great American tradition of bluegrass music in their bones. They are sensational players and singers with industry awards to prove it. And they're invested in local bluegrass on the radio, and we're down with that. So help me welcome to the stage Joe Mullins and the Radio Ramblers.
Hey, all right. We'll smoke these fiddle tunes to the fiddle man's delight. Now hit up that old rosin, boy, till it melts and flows. Well, get the strings so hot, my friend, too hot for you to hold. Lay fire on the mountain till away after dark. Then a little bit of Uncle Pen and a lot of old Joe Clark. Now shovel on the coal, boys, build up a lot of steam. They call it fiddle music, let's show 'em what that means. For this is good old Nashville on a Wednesday night. If we don't burn it down to the fiddle man's delight. Well, howdy, everybody. What a thrill, always, to be included on a presentation of Music City Roots. Welcome to the City Winery. My name is Joe Mullins, and the Radio Ramblers are the fiddle man, Jason Barry. How about it for old Jason? Great mandolin man, that is Mike Terry with his mighty mandolin. Guitar man is Dwayne Sparks. How about it for Dwayne? And Mac, welcome on the bass fiddle, rockin' Randy Barnes. Now let's play Sally Gooden or little Jenny Lind. They've got souls left on their shoes, so boys, this ain't the end. With the pretty girls dancing, oh, what a sight. They're swinging to the bluegrass sound and the fiddle man's delight. Yeah, now fire that Thank you, Jason, and thanks everybody for being here on a special Wednesday night. And we're here with some great friends of ours. And boy, the ladies did a great job getting us off the start this evening, didn't they? Our most recent CD is #1 in Bluegrass Unlimited magazine this month. We're so thankful that bluegrass fans like our new album entitled The Story We Tell. Here's a song we got to sing at the Grand Ole Opry the last time we were in town. It's entitled Songs That'll Get 'Em. get 'em. Kind of words that will stick with 'em. Everybody likes to sing songs about mother and the place that they call home. That melody, it sure will touch their heart, and it will chase away their cares. Takes me back to a time when I would go home and mother would be there. There for a while, he asked if I would play him another. So I sang about my first love, my true love, my darling, my wife. And as I looked over at him, I saw a tear roll down his face. He said, "You're right, son, when you love like that, nothing in the world will take its place." Songs that will get 'em, the kind of words that will stick with 'em. Everybody likes to sing songs about true love and the one they call their own. That melody, it sure will touch their heart, and it will chase away their cares. Takes me back to a time when I would come home and she would be there. Songs that will get 'em, the kind of words that will stick with 'em. Sing the one that lets me see her in my mind before Jesus called her home. That melody, it sure does touch my heart, and I think of all the time we shared. When you sing those words, it warms me and almost makes me feel like I am there. Songs that will get 'em. you very much. A new song and an old song. The Last Old Shovel goes way back to the early days of country music. That's a Delmore Brothers tune. They were some of the very earliest stars of country music and the Grand Ole Opry. And many of their tunes have stuck around and stood the test of time. A lot of their songs wound up at the cemetery, just like The Last Old Shovel from our newest album. We're thankful for Music City Roots. Started to say Real Roots Radio. It sure did. Grateful for all that this programming brings to radio and to the web and so forth. We'll bring you a song I learned from another Grand Ole Opry star. Remember everybody's favorite Grandpa Jones? Talk about a cool cat. Grandpa and his family got this song when they lived in the Mountain View, Arkansas community in the Ozarks. A quaint little number that kind of describes the Bluegrass Festival scene when all the campgrounds turn into little neighborhoods. You'll appreciate this. It's called Neighbors. Choose your friends for their power, trade your love for their gold. It seems like a sign of the times, but some folks remember what neighbors are for, and some of them are neighbors of mine. I have lived among some good and gentle people. I have walked in a strong, growing land. I have sung songs I know I will hear once again, being sung by some heavenly band. Building cities of steel, building highways of stone, we've forgotten what this good earth is for. But somewhere there's land still held in God's hand, and some of it lies near my door. I have lived among some good and gentle people. I have walked in a strong, growing land. I have sung songs I know I will hear once again, being sung by some heavenly band. I hear talk every day of a world going wrong. I hear talk of the time left behind. But a long summer's night full of fiddles and song is a sound that I hold in my mind. I have lived among some good and gentle people. I have walked in a strong, growing land. I have sung songs I know I will hear once again, being sung by some heavenly band. Thank you. Quaint little story song about neighbors. A story we tell is the latest CD. Hey, we just started a Facebook promotion today. Certainly you can follow us online. Like us on Facebook and share it, and you're entered in to win 2 passes to Dollywood and 2 nights at a Red Roof Inn. And it's good anytime this summer. We'll be at Dollywood for the Barbecue and Bluegrass Festival in a couple of weeks. So follow us on Facebook. Everybody's got one little smartphone. Do it now, and you're entered into the contest. Join us in the Smoky Mountains. Red Roots, man. Dear friend of ours, great songwriter, sent this little tune to us. And when it says, I had a case of the Highway 40 blues, Larry Cordell got this song to the radio Ramblers. A little truck driving tune. It goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4.
if I'd have wrote that song. This old lonely savage, people lay me gone. I'd have a Lincoln Navigator and a boat to tow along. With me driving this truck, if I'd have wrote that song. If I'd have wrote that song. I wouldn't be driving this truck if I'd have wrote that song. And a boat to tow along. With me driving this truck, if I'd have wrote that song. Well, I can do that stuff, and I've just about had enough. With me driving this truck, if I'd have wrote that song. All right.
Lad, my family made our living from the land. We worked the fields from sun to sun with tired and calloused hands. My dad would smile as darkness fell and my head would slowly bound. Oh, don't quit, son, we're almost done. We're in the short rows now. We're in the short rows now. We'll make it through somehow. Oh, don't quit, son, we're almost done. We're in the short rows now. Many years have come and gone since I've worked with Dan. I've known hard times, I've lived and loved, I've seen and I've had. I know my days are numbered now, all heaven will allow. Though I'll endure, I know for sure I'm in the short rows now. I'm in the short rows now, I'll make it through somehow. Though I'll endure, I know for sure I'm in the short rows now. If you're short rows now. I'll make it through somehow. Where did it go? All that I know, I'm in the short rows now. I'm in the short rows now. I'll make it through somehow. I've had my fun, my race is run. I'm in the short rows now.
Thank y'all much. Thank you very much. That's an original. That's in that new album. When you get out next to the edge of the field, man, them rolls get a little shorter. Mike Terry singing for everybody. Just a little bit more. Let's pick a tune, then we'll do one more number and be out of the way for our friends, the Travelin' McCourys. Mikey, play it for us. We look forward to sticking around and visiting and jamming out with everybody and hanging around for the rest of the night. You can remember RadioRamblers.com. You got that? Yep. Wrap it all up with a little cowboy tune. This is called the Long Gone Out West Blues.
Plains are killing me, where the wild still roam and the trees grow high.
It's a long gone out west blues. Long gone out west blues.
Joe Mullins and the Radio Ramblers. Wonderful. Now that's bluegrass, folks. Joe Mullins and the Radio Ramblers. Thank you so much. That was awesome. As always. Folks, okay, you like wine, right? Do you know what an announcer's favorite wine is? I didn't know I had another segment coming up. Keith, but not Keith, not our boy
me.
Keith. No.
I love to talk. Thank you. Thank you very much. Music City Roots receives support for this broadcast from businesses that are leaders in our community, like Ascend Federal Credit Union. Ascend offers convenient online account access, bill payment, and statements with an app to access your accounts on the go. Just visit ascendfcu.org to register for e-services from Ascend. Ascend Federal Credit Union, raising possibilities. Ascend is federally insured by the NCUA. Membership is limited. Over in the chat room, there's nobody. Anybody know where Craig went? He's going to interview Joe Mullins. Whoa, Joe, that was just fantastic, man. What a night we're having here at the City Winery. Woo, I heard him upstairs rehearsing before the show, and I said, oh, this is going to be good. And it was. I like that shirt and tie, too. Actually, I'm just run out of things to say, so I... There's Craig. Craig, I'm going to throw it over to you. We had that short commercial this time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We missed each other in the back.
Yes.
But he's a professional, like the ultimate.
Straight.
You're always on the spot because you know what it means to be in radio and live radio.
Love it. Yeah, I still do that. That's why we're the Radio Ramblers. I have a local network of radio stations in southwestern Ohio, and we're kind of swinging at the same ball. Our network, we did a rebranding earlier this year, and we are now Real Roots Radio, for sure. The network of stations I'm attached to in Ohio. So I've always combined banjo picking and broadcasting.
Well, I was going to ask you about your background. Like, what are your earliest memories of radio? When did radio become a factor in your life?
Day one. My dad was a broadcaster. My dad started in country radio full-time in 1960, and he was always a rebel. When I say country radio, he made certain that he gave equal airtime to Flatt and Scruggs and the Stanley Brothers and J.D. Crowe and the Kentucky Mountain Boys and the Country Gentlemen, as he did Waylon and Willie and Conway and Loretta and Porter and Dolly and all those folks. So he had his own playlist, and he was an old-fashioned radio pitch man. My dad did radio commercials for every car dealer and tire salesman and shoe store in 10 or 12 counties around southern Ohio. So radio has just been in my blood. Dad was a fiddle player and a radio man. I grew up a banjo player and a radio man.
When did you get behind the microphone and start to work in the field?
I was in high school. I started doing a Saturday show when I was 16. And when school was out that spring, I started doing afternoon drive time. So I've been on the air since I was 16 years old. That's 1982. 1982 is the first time I got paid to be on the radio and the first time I got paid to perform. I played Bean Blossom that year on the banjo.
I sort of feel like you found a, I applaud that too. I mean, I feel like you found a path blending the presence on the air, the support of the music over here, playing the music over here. The two are symbiotic with each other. And it's almost like, I bet other bands are out there going, oh, that was a good idea. How did he think it? It's so simple. It's so devilishly solid and old-fashioned, and it's proven it's worked for decades. It was the model.
It was the
for
model.
so many decades in
the
country
Monroe
music.
brothers, and then the Stanley brothers, and then Flatt and Scruggs. They were all attached to a radio station.
Yeah.
And in the early days, they would on smaller stations they would play an area out. You know, they'd be on the radio in Greensboro for a year, then they move over to somewhere in Roanoke, and then they come back to Lexington, Kentucky. When they finally got to the big radio station, that's when they got to WLS in Chicago or WSM in Nashville and the big 50,000 waters. And you fast forward to my era here, 50, 60 years later, and I figured out if you want to make bluegrass records, best way to get your record played on the radio is to own the station.
And you're too modest to say it, but I will say it. 2016. Joe is named International Bluegrass Music Association Broadcaster of the Year. So he has been widely recognized by his peers who appreciate what does it mean to get other bluegrass musicians on the air and to have them come through and visit. That must be a very special part of the gig.
That means a lot, and it's really what launched this band. With the area I cover, southwestern Ohio is rich in bluegrass history. And my dad had built a foundation there on radio for about 25 years that I just kind of started building on when I started my network in the early 90s. And we've been blessed to be able to promote concerts for everybody in the bluegrass world.
Yeah.
I mean, from the McCourys coming through town to Ricky Skaggs and Rhonda Vincent and every type of act that plays bluegrass music that we feature on the radio, we've helped them draw a crowd at an Arts Council theater or at a county fair or a car lot.
Yeah.
And sometimes folks would call the radio station, they want bluegrass entertainment. And they couldn't afford the Dale McCourys Band or Rhonda Vincent or Ricky Skaggs, but they could afford Joe Mullins and the Radio Ramblers. So that's how we started 12 years ago, playing car lots and county fairs for my radio network. Finally went on the road full-time in about 2011.
That's 2011, right. So, and you've got quite a few records out now, and the most recent being, as you mentioned on stage, The Story We Tell.
Yeah.
And I love how you curate songs. You look widely, you look at some of the leading writers in the industry, but you find some writers who are not as well known, and then you look for just some choice, deep cuts from the past of bluegrass. I may have given you the answer, but how do you think about specifically this record? What story were you trying to tell with The Story We Tell?
Well, the story we tell is the line out of one of the songs in there. And, you know, it's not all deep story songs, but we do play some songs that make you think about life a little bit. And no two are alike. That's one of the main things I look for. And I kind of lay out a stage show. You try to make it like a radio show. You can't have everything about, the old home place, and everything can't be in the same key and can't be the same tempo. And I approach an album the same way. We're so fortunate in our band to have great vocal variety. Dwayne sings lead, I sing lead, Mike sing lead. We do every type of duet and trio and quartet combination. And so you want to balance it out. I like for a CD, a Radio Ramblers album, to play like a good radio show. Yeah. And if you don't like the first one, you'll like the second one or the third one. Just hang in there with us.
There's even several songs about songs in this record, and including, I love the one, If I Wrote That Song, and it's about what if it had been in me to do that and the fortune I could have had. I had that thought. I could have written that down.
Yes, I'm sure everybody's heard a lyric on the radio that was something they really connected with. And they thought, well, why didn't I think of that? Yeah. Why didn't I write that song? And, of course, everybody's ever dabbled with a guitar or a banjo or any kind of a stage act. You're always just need that one big hit. Yeah. And, of course, as I mentioned to our audience earlier, Larry Cordell is a great friend and one of the best songwriters in town and has been for 30-some years. And the Mighty Chord sent that song to us, and I'm grateful.
I see. Cool. Well, as we wrap up and get out of here, any things you'd like to have people watch for this rest of this summer, later this year?
Got a busy tour schedule, radioramblers.com. Yeah. Follow us on Facebook. I mentioned to the crowd, we're working Dollywood, the Bluegrass and Barbecue Festival. And like us and share us on Facebook. And we've got 2 passes to Dollywood and 2 nights at a hotel in Pigeon Forge up for grabs. A little vacation package. And if you can't use it while we're there doing the Bluegrass Festival, it's good all summer.
All right. Joe Mullins, one more time, everybody. Keep your eye on RadioRamblers.com and enjoy your music every time we hear you. Thanks, sir.
Joe.
Good stuff.
Joe, thank you so much for being here. Let's hear it again for Joe Mullins and the Radio Ramblers. That's great. Wow, folks, this is kind of embarrassing, but my contact lenses aren't working right. I'm going to have to improvise a little bit. These guys up here, they've been trying to get me to join them for years, but I've got my own thing, and I love them just the way they are. You know, when I first heard them, I didn't think I'd like them, and I don't. I love them. Hey, do you like hamburgers? I do too. I'll tell you what, though. I don't like nothing burgers. Let me tell you something. This is a something burger up here. Oh, wait. Now that's working. Up now, folks, is a band that couldn't be more suited to the times in Americana music. Their family name reflects not only a heritage of classic bluegrass music, but also a commitment to musical curiosity, outreach, and collaboration. Formed from a desire to carry that name on well into the future, This ensemble's importance can't be overstated, folks. Put your hands together for the Travelin McCourys.
Well, you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. And you let her go. Of your glass, hoping someday you'll make the dream last. But dreams come slow and they go so fast. Well, you see her when you close your eyes. Maybe someday you'll understand why everything you touch surely dies. Well, you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. And it goes so fast. Well, you see when you fall asleep, never to touch, oh, never to keep. For you love her too much and you dive too deep. Well, you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. And you let her go. The sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. Well, you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. And you let her go.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Great to be back on Music City Roots again. That's a tune called Let Her Go. We have a brand new CD that's going to be released next week. And we actually have some tonight if anybody's interested. But going down the line here, I'm going to introduce this fella playing the fiddle. He's originally from the state of Kentucky, and he's won the Fiddle Player of the Year many times. That's Jason Carter right there. Thank you so much.
Lord, I'm traveling this morning. I'm going to Shreveport down to New Orleans. I've been traveling these highways. I've been doing things my way. It's been making me lonesome, hungry me. Now her hair was jet black, and her name was Bodine. Thought she was the cream of a Basin Street queen. She got tired of that smoky wine drink, began to feel lonesome, hungry me. Together, and we cashed in our suite. Gave room to a beggar who was a mumbling through the streets. There's no escaping from a snowy wine dream. Born looking lonesome, hungry me. Hey, thank you very much. That's Jason Carter, folks. All right, thank you, thank you. Well, this fella to my left and your right, he happens to be the bass player of the year in bluegrass music this year. If you give Alan Bartram a big hand, he'll love that. He'll love it.
You're right, Ronnie. I did love that. Thank you, folks. It's a song that's going to be on the new record, believe it or not. It's called The Hardest Heart. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Words as sharp as concertina, she'll cut me down when I'm in between the man I am and what I should be. That gal of mine is low down mean, and like that wire around the pin, she'll do her work to keep me in this broken dream she calls a life, more reward than a wife. The hardest heart I've never seen. That gal of mine is low down mean. The hardest heart I've never seen. That gal of mine is low down mean. Not see the falseness there. Well, then I was too young to know, and fed on lies my love did grow. Married soon, I learned my fate. Nature's truth I saw too late. The home I built became myself, condemned therein by her to dwell. The hardest heart I've never seen. That gal of mine is low down mean. The hardest heart I've never seen. That gal of mine is low down mean. She'll wake one day to find I'm free. Nothing there where long I'd been. Perhaps her heart will soften then. Thank you. Folks, a Tennessee native over here on the guitar. Give it up for Cody Kilby.
This is a song that also on a new CD. This is one that a fella by the name of Nick Lowe wrote. It's a pretty song, and I'm going to give it a try. It's called Battlefield. I live on a battlefield, surrounded by the ruins of the love we built, and then destroyed between us. The smoke has cleared. As I stumble through the rubble, I'm dazed and seeing double, and I'm truly mystified. My new home is a shell hole filled with tears and muddy water, and the bits of broken heart all around. There is desolation and the seeds of a devastation of a love been torn apart. I live on a battlefield. Single drop of blood has spilled. It's no less horrifying. Sweet memories, memories of a bygone situation. I shattered, Lord, and battered. I scattered all around. My new home is a shell hole filled with tears and muddy water, and the bits of broken heart all around. There is desolation and the scenes of a devastation of a love been torn apart. I live on a battlefield. Survivor, I can't find one anywhere. My new home is filled with muddy water all around. Are the bits of broken heart. My world is one of desolation and the scenes of a devastation. There is no consolation for love being torn apart. I live on a battlefield. On a battlefield. I live on a battlefield.
Folks, that's Ronnie McCourys right there on the mandolin and vocals.
Well, I think we're going to do about one more here for you. This is, Alan, you might as well tell about this. You wrote this song, right?
All right. It's a song I wrote.
as Ronnie said. I wrote it with my buddy John Weisberger. Is he here? All right. Hey, John, listen to this. It's a tune called Travelin. You might recognize it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and...
The captain says it might be rough, but the old red belly's gonna soar. It gets her up to altitude and brings her down just fine. I gotta keep on traveling, moving on down the line. Diesel smoke is choking me as we pull another hill. Got new treads on the bus, got no time for standing still. Rolling down the interstate, blowing by the signs. I gotta keep on traveling, moving on down the line. Bye bye, so long, farewell, we'll be long gone. Bye bye, so long, time is always right for moving on. When I wanna settle down, how can I be satisfied with planting my feet on solid ground? Don't ask me to give it up, this rambling life of mine. I gotta keep on traveling, moving on down the line. Bye bye, so long, farewell, we'll be long gone. Bye bye, so long, time is always right for moving on.
Thank you, thank you. Would you like to hear another one? I'm going to sweeten the deal here a little bit. Well, please welcome my father, Del McCourys. Come on out here, Pop.
These guys are hot tonight, ain't they? Well, you know, I guess I'll do a song or two. We don't have time for too many. Maybe just one. What do you think, boys? Well, I don't know. I'd like to do a song from our new record. You know, these guys have a brand new record, and so do I. The only problem is I don't know any of the songs from my new record. I read them off a piece of paper, and the paper's at home. Yeah, we're going to do a little tune here that Ernest Tubbs sang years ago. Dearest sweetheart, and darling, I miss you oh so much. Your letter has cheered me, but I'm lonesome just to feel your loving touch. Letters have no arm, dear, to hold me. Kisses on paper are so cold. These sweet things you write in your letter, dear, when told. Letter never bring me the touch of your hand, or none of your sweet loving charm. I get so lonesome for you, darling, and you know that letters have no song, I guess, for the end. These guys had a great fast number a minute ago. We should have quit then. Well, you know what? We were on a Sirius radio this morning with Kyle Kentrell, and we did a few of these songs. But anyway, we did Roll in My Sweet Baby's Arms, and we were thinking about doing McKinley Hollered and Squall and all that stuff. What you think we ought to do? What's that? Roll my, okay, roll in my sweet baby's arms.
Roll in my sweet baby's arms.
Del McCourys. The Travelin' McCourys with special guest Del McCourys. Yeah. You won't see that anywhere on earth except here, ladies and gentlemen, the City Winery at Music City Roots. The Travelin' McCourys with Del McCourys. Yeah.
Are standing up at the City Winery. I think Thanks for being part of the show. Am I on, folks? Yeah. Hello. Need a little
What a
microphone.
night here. Want to say thanks to Fender Amplification and Shure Microphones for their support with some of the gear we use to produce this fine sound. Craig, is your microphone on over there?
I think it is
All
now.
right.
Yeah.
Take it away.
I get to say thanks to all the artists that played here tonight on WMOT, Murfreesboro, Nashville, 89.5. They were Nora Jane Struthers, Emma Hearn, Joe Mullins, and the Radio Ramblers, the Travelin' McCourys, and of course, the great Del McCourys. Let's give them all a big round of applause. That's what we live for at Music City Roots, where it's a family affair. And thanks to everybody watching online and who were part of the night with City Winery. We just really appreciate it. We've got another Roots on the Road show that's a really fun one. You might want to, it's out of town. We're not in the heart of Music City with this one. We have been doing a summertime show up at Mont Eagle Assembly up on the Cumberland Plateau. It's a beautiful setting. It's an amazing venue, this incredible wooden building, this giant barn, kind of just it's a gathering place. It's just remarkable. And on June 22nd, we will be up there on Mont Eagle Mountain with the Grascals, a tremendous bluegrass band, the very funny and talented Greg Hall, a young guy named Scott Mulvihill, who you got to hear, a songwriter and bass player who's been out with Ricky Skaggs as a support guy, but his stuff as a songwriter is tremendous, and a duo that I adore, and I hope you do too, the Wild Ponies. Doug and Talisha Williams will be there with us. So that's going to be terrific. Friday, June 22nd. Have a look at musiccityroots.com for details and for tickets, because it's open to the general public, but it'll be mostly it's the families and the kids and the dogs of Mont Eagle who spend the summer up there, and it's always so nice.
Stepping back in time.
It is.
You go through the gates and you just immediately relax.
Yeah.
And just, oh man, it's a great place to go. Well, it looks like everyone is ready for our big jam. Brought to you by Yeehaw Brewing. Everybody say, 1, 2, 3, Yeehaw! Now somebody turn around to the folks from Australia and explain what that expression means, all right? Well, Jim, are you ready? Where's Jim? Have we lost Jim? Oh,
Jim's
there
here.
he is.
He's still directing.
He's always the holdup, you know. But he has done a marvelous job tonight. It is so good to be back on stage with the great Jim Lauderdale. Yeah.
Thank you, Jim.
Yes. It is.
Tell you what, let's. We're still getting set up. We got a couple of more minutes. Let's see if I have any announcements. Oh yes. Well, the driver of a 1967 Buick, license plate Tennessee ER415. You left your lights on, but we turned them off. You're fine, so don't worry about it. But if you saw somebody, if somebody says, "Hey, somebody was going in my car," that's why.
ER415. That's an interesting license plate.
Tennessee plates.
He's full of them, folks. In fact, he's full of a lot of things. But
I always like
that's another story for another day.
And so remember, folks, like I said before, remember to find in the finest gourmet groceries and here at City Winery, Keith Bilbrey's Bill Brie cheese.
That's it.
And also, if you want something nice, a nice jacket, Keith Bilbrey's Burberry Village.
Yes,
Go to the
in
trunk
downtown
show.
London.
Well, I think we're ready. So, Joe, you and your fellas come down here on this end. And I think we're going to do something. You know, I got inspired to do this song earlier tonight. And so we're going to do it. Feel like I've got to travel on. almost gone, winter's hanging on. I've laid around and played around this old town too long, and I feel like I've got to travel on.
Papa writes to Johnny, Johnny can't come home. Johnny can't come home, no, Johnny can't come home. Papa writes to Johnny, but Johnny can't come home, 'cause he's been on the chain ain't too long. This old town too long, summer's almost gone, and winter's coming home. Played around and played around, this old town too long, and I feel like I've got to travel on. Sheriff and police are riding after me, riding after me, oh, riding after me. Sheriff and police coming after me. I feel like I've got to travel on.
Played around this old town too long, summer's almost gone, and winter's coming on. Played around and played around this old town too long, and I feel like I've got to travel on.
I wanna see her bad. Wanna see her bad, Lord, I wanna see her bad. I wanna see my honey. I wanna see her bad. She's the best pal this poor boy ever had.
Done played around and played around this old town too long, summer's almost gone, winter's hanging on. Done played around and played around this old town too long, and I feel like I've got to travel on.
I wanna see my honey, wanna see her bad, wanna see her bad, Lord, I wanna see her bad. Wanna see my honey, wanna see her bad. She's the best gal this poor boy ever had. Played around this old town too long, summer's almost gone, yes, winter's coming on. Played around this old town too long, and I feel like I've got to travel on. And I feel like I've got to travel on.
Thank y'all so much. Let's hear it again for all these great artists. We'll see you next time at Music City Roots.
What a night! What a night! Thanks to all our guests tonight. Music City Roots is a production of Hang Time Media. Executive producers John Walker and Todd Mayo. Want to wish a very happy birthday to Anna Spawn, one of our fine camera technicians. Don't forget to tune in to 89.5 WMOT Roots Radio tonight on your way home. Speaking of birthdays, Mac Wiseman turns 93 on May 23rd. Happy birthday, Malcolm. Don't touch that dial. I'm Keith Bilbriand from the City Winery in Nashville, Tennessee. Good night, everybody.
Hang on.